Shalom is real. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It is no God beside them. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for being faithful witnesses to the Holy Spirit, and salutations to the elect whom the Lord have given ears to hear.
You're not going to get a warning when Armageddon arrives. It's just going to happen. All the supplies at the grocery store will be gone. The things that you need to camp out or get to your evacuation center left empty. You have time right now to get ready, and we are looking at Russia's Pearl Harbor as one of the most escalatory events that we have seen in decades. Russia is preparing, according to some military bloggers, their nuclear weapons to be used inside of Russia or inside of Europe. Germany and other countries knew this was coming. NATO knew this was coming. The United States of America right now says that they had no advanced knowledge that Ukraine would be using drones and other types of warfare to enter into Russia and take out a vast majority of their combat-ready fighting jets and other utilities. But we know that we are looking right in the face of hell. It's up to you to get ready. Ukraine's recent spiderweb operation saw over 100 different large warfare drones smuggled deep inside of Russia. They used these to strike 4 separate air bases. One was over 2,500 miles away from Ukraine's border. The president to Ukraine, Zelensky, claims that 40 different Russian active-duty aircraft, about a third of the strategic cruise missile carriers, were hit. This cost the Kremlin an estimated $7 billion worth of damage. This is a total of over 35% of their Air Force fleet, their long-range nuclear-capable strategic bombers. The attack is right now being considered by many as Russia's version of Pearl Harbor. They have been dealt now a severe blow to both Putin's pride and Russia's capabilities. It shows their vulnerabilities. The drone strike came out on the eve of new peace talks. The peace talks in Istanbul between Russia and Ukraine were meant to make and drive a new hope forward. The hope for progress is now slim. Ukraine proposed an unconditional 30-day ceasefire. Russia demanded that Ukraine surrender immediately. The administration to the United States of America, less pro-Ukraine than Biden's, of course, brokered the talks, but now everyone is threatening to withdraw because there is no production of result. Russia's retaliation. They sent in over 500 drone strikes into Ukraine. They killed multiple people and took out a large amount of infrastructure. Analysts right now warn that Russia will use these attacks. They will use them as an excuse to intensify strikes on Ukrainian civilians. Many of the strikes were likely planned in advance, but Russia put them into progress. Putin's allies are calling for severe retaliation, with some even out in the open, saying that it's time for nuclear weapons. The biggest question that you face right now is, how will the USA respond? Will it pressure Ukraine? Will they attempt to make them scale back their attacks on Russian territory? Or because we have assets to their resources, will they make them stand firm? Even as the U.S. Army stands willing to protect its European allies, Russia is planning a so-called disproportionate attack response to that attack on their own air bases. The president of the country, Vladimir Putin, issued a red flag warning. He said that amid rising tensions with Ukraine, that Russia's warheads will and can reach temperatures that are comparable to the sun. These warheads to that attack on their own air bases. The president of the country, Vladimir Putin, issued a red flag warning. He said that amid rising tensions with Ukraine, that Russia's warheads will and can reach temperatures that are comparable to the sun. These warheads, according to the Russian president, have the ability to annihilate every single enemy in their path. They will reduce their enemies and targets to ash.
So as he was speaking, especially on that important point of Russia talking about using nuclear missiles, all right, to annihilate all their enemies, you know, that was a very important point. So I had to go look it up, where it says reports state that Russian President Vladimir Putin has claimed that the warheads of Oreshnik missile system can withstand temperatures comparable to those of the surface of the sun. He made this statement during the Future Technologies Forum in Moscow in February 2025. According to Putin, the ability of these warheads to endure such extreme heat is due to groundbreaking new materials developed by Russian specialists. He stated that the development of such systems was initially conceived in the late 80s, but the necessary materials for their implementation were not available at that time. It's important to note that independent verification of this claim by Putin is currently unavailable, and further details from official Russian sources with defense analysts are awaited. So another one for the scripts, another one for, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is I'm sure you brothers know where I'm going by now. 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. This is in easy English, but the day when the Lord will come back will surprise people. It will surprise people as when someone comes to rob them. The sky will go away in a very loud noise, and it will not be there anymore. Fire will burn the sun, the moon, and the stars, and it will destroy them. The earth and everything that is on it will not be there anymore. Actually, let me see. Yeah, this is better, Salakia, because that easy English version wasn't good. It wasn't correct. But it says, let me start at verse 9. The Lord is not slow in keeping his word, as he seems to some, but he is waiting in mercy for you, not desiring the destruction of any, but that all may be turned from the evil ways. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief, and in that day the heavens will be rolled with a great noise, and the substance of the earth will be changed by violent heat, and the world and everything in it will be burnt up. All right, and not the world, the whole world, but various portions of the world, such as America. Whole of America will be burnt up. And the part where it says, but the heavens will pass away with a great noise, right? When we read that in the KJV, all right, it says, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. And I should remind you, real quick, let's grab it in Joel. chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, they have not been ever the like, neither shall any more be after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. So this is a metaphor for the nuclear missiles. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, because their main purpose is to destroy. Isaiah 34:16. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on top of mountains shall they leap. So the great noise is pretty much the missiles being shot off, right, going to and fro across the earth, right? It likens them as noise of chariots on tops of mountains. Or as it says in the Easy English, they run together like an army into fight. They climb walls like soldiers. They march on a straight line. No, verse 5, Salakia. Their noise is like the noise of many feet. They jump over the mountains as fast as fire burns dry grass. They are like a great army ready for a fight. Right? Because they come to do devastation. Nations that see them are very afraid. Every face changes color. Because just as when an opposing army in the ancient times seen, the vigor of their enemy, they brought fear upon them. Well, that's how the nuclear missile is going to bring fear upon those of the land that they destroy. It says they do not push each other away. Each one of them goes straight on. You can put weapons in their path, but they will go straight on. And this symbolizes the day of the Lord, as we read in 2 Peter's. Okay? So some terrible times is coming. And Esau has plans to chip everybody. But the Lord has a counter, which is those nuclear missiles. So let's go back to that 2 Peter's. It says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Lord, when the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. It says, looking for and truly desiring the coming of the day of the Lord, when the heavens will come to an end through fire. And that word heaven is just another name for rulership. Right? Because the scriptures say that the earth abideth forever. So this cannot be talking about the earth in itself, but this rulership. And the substance of the earth will be changed by the great heat. And to prove that, remember Yahweh Shai's prayer that we should pray to Yahweh was that he brings his heaven on earth he brings his rulership on earth as it is in heaven. So how can you do that if this place is completely destroyed? But yeah, judgment is on its way. Talk of judgment is on its way. The day of the Lord approaches. Real quick, this is 2 Ezra 8 and 20. O Lord, thou that dwellest in everlastingness, which beholdest from above things in heaven and in the earth and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling, whose service is conversant in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandment is strong and ordinance fearful, whose look drieth up the depths, and indignation maketh the mountains to melt away, which the truth witnesses. So essentially, very soon, the Lord is going to send his son Yahushua to drive the depths of the wicked. All right? Various parts of the world. All right? And America as a whole. And, I advise you brothers, you newcomers, to check this video out. The lake of fire is the destruction of Babylon. The great more proof. To understand, where that fire is truly directed at. When it's all said and done. So it's that. Shalom to the elect.